Welcome to the show where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show. If you don't know, it's part of the show. You don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show. If you don't know, it's part of the show.
This thing is just got a mind of its own. Honestly. I do not know why I don't know why my laptop is lagging so badly. So Alright, so I'm just gonna start the countdown timer. And I gotta do hotkeys for the slides. This is that. And here we go, countdown timer. Except I gotta, I know what I gotta do, so I can hear it. What's going on, everybody? Joey Rocha, SE Montreal, and Ali B. And this is not what I wanted. I need it up here, I think, up here. And we gotta do countdown timer. Both the monitor and the output, so I can hear it. Let's see if this works. Okay, up here.
Welcome to the show where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show. If you don't know, it's part of the show.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You know, this is, excuse me, a damn fine cup of coffee. A damn fine cup of coffee. A damn fine cup of coffee.
Hello, hello, hello. What ho? Welcome back to another exciting Conspiracy Cat. Damn it, he's in my head. Conspiracy Cats is in my head. What am I gonna do? I've got a troll named Conspiracy Cats. Oh, hey, the plain truth. You're losing the poll you posted about our debate. Our debate? Our debate. I think you mean you are losing the poll you posted about our debate. Silly Conspiracy Cats. Everybody is voting option 2. I hope you're a man of integrity and give the people what they want. So not only does he spell our as R, he also puts the end note question mark on a statement. So yeah, there's no losing the poll. It's a poll, Conspiracy Cats. I'm not trying to win anything. You're such a child. Oh my goodness. Anyway, welcome back to another exciting adventure of The Plain Truth. I'm your host, Travis Finley. We are going to be looking at some Andrew Thomas Young information, and I tried to do this yesterday. I did the whole show. What happened yesterday? Why didn't this show go through? I don't remember. Some kind of something or other. So, all right, let me just check and make sure. Andrew Thomas Young information, and all right, sounds like it sounds good. I'm not going to pay any attention to my Conspiracy Cats troll. All right, so here we go. Yeah, an introduction to mirages. This Co18eeSode is brought to you by Andrew Thomas Young and Delicious Coffee. What's going on, Joe Mama? Joe Mama and I are heading out to the island today, so we'll see what we can see. It is absolutely beautiful up here in the canyon right now. The sky is blue. Sky is blue. Sky is blue. All right. Conspiracy Cats the Troll. An introduction to mirages. First of all, what is a mirage? Mirages are not optical illusions as many people and websites think. They are real phenomena of atmospheric optics. Atmospheric optics. You wouldn't believe, I suppose you might, when I first started talking about ether band, everybody was on both sides. Everybody was, Travis, don't you understand atmospheric optics? That's the word we have for this, atmospheric optics. But atmospheric optics takes too long to say. It's 6 syllables, and ether band is just 3. So there you go. Mirages are real phenomena caused by strong ray bending in layers with steep thermal gradients. Because mirages are real physical phenomena, they can be photographed. Okay, so let's look up ray bending real quick here. Oh, you know what? I should have done that in a separate tab. Everybody say hello to our mascot troll, Conspiracy Cats. It's not the word I was looking for, but you know, it's still early. All right. Ray bending. Here we go. Calculating ray bending. Mirages and other refraction phenomena are the result of the bending of rays in the Earth's atmosphere. Don't know why Earth is capitalized. Don't know why why got a special place for Earth in our lexicon. But how much do rays bend? This page shows how to estimate the bending from simple information on temperature gradients in the lower atmosphere. So let's click on this temperature gradients, see where this takes us down the rabbit hole of ray bending. All right, so this goes to his glossary here. Gradient, the rate at which something changes. Here we are talking about temperature gradients, how fast the temperature changes with height in the atmosphere. The bending of rays in the atmosphere depends on the temperature gradient. Does the bending of rays in the atmosphere only depend on the temperature gradient? Is there no other variable that affects the bending of rays? I wonder. Wonder how he eliminated all of those other variables and concluded that temperature is the only thing that seems to affect the bending of rays. All right. He says, I'll try to keep this treatment as simple as possible here, so a lot of refinements needed for accurate calculation will be ignored. We're going to ignore accurate calculations. Okay. My aim is to show the basic physics, not to produce exact numbers. That's interesting. The accuracy of the results will roughly be 10%. 10%. His accuracy is going to be 10%? I don't know about that. This kind of rough approximation, yeah, rough approximation is right, is what one of my professors used to call bathtub calculations. The sort of thing you can do in your head in the bathtub, kind of like Trumbo writing his screenplays back in the 40s and 50s. Got his typewriter up there and sitting in his bathtub with just tepid water, I think he smoked one of those cigarettes with the plastic extensions or whatever, kind of like Cruella de Vil. Anyway, by the way, if you are not familiar with the concept of geometrical optics, I suggest you take a look at my Introduction to Optics pages. Oh, we are going to do that, Mr. Young. We are. So, again, just saying hello to everybody out there. Central Banker. So this is the second time I've seen you. Good to see you back. Conspiracy Cats, the troll is here. SE Montreal is here. Joe Mama is here. And I don't know who else is here. Ali B was here earlier. So if you wouldn't mind, if you were here, since we've got this little station identification break here, if you wouldn't mind jumping on over to the watch page and hitting that thumbs up, I would surely appreciate it. All right, so here we go. Optics for beginners. Optics is the science of light. If you know nothing about optics, this page and those linked to it will explain the basic facts needed to understand how mirages, green flashes, and other refraction phenomena work. A little background is required, so please be patient. Traditionally, optics is divided into two main areas: geometrical optics, which deals with how light moves and where it goes, and physical optics, which deals with the nature of light itself, which we don't need to go into here, and with the interaction between light and matter, which we will need to use a little bit. There are also several related fields, like vision and the color of science. One of these is atmospheric optics, which deals with how light interacts with our atmosphere. That is the aether band, okay? That is the concept of the aether band. Atmospheric optics, dealing with how light interacts with our atmosphere. Mirages and green flashes are also a part of atmospheric optics, but you need to understand some basic optics first before you can understand what air does to light. Okay, here we go. What air does to light, what the medium, air is the medium, and it distorts the observations that we see over distance, okay? Two kinds of optical phenomena are involved in green flashes and mirages: atmospheric refraction, atmospheric transmission. Okay? Refraction belongs to geometrical optics. Transmission belongs to physical optics. Let's look at both of these fields. Geometrical optics, reversibility. People often talk about a line of sight between 2 points. Here are 2 observers located at points A and B. If A can see B, then B can see A along the same line of sight, but in the opposite direction. Most people are aware that the line of sight is the same for both observers. Light passes from A to B along the same path from B to A. We say the light is reversible. Sometimes it is handy to trace the path of the light away from an observer. Sometimes it is handy to trace the path of the light away from. How are you doing that? How are you, pray tell? How are you tracing the path of the light away from an observer? Can you show me that? I don't think you can. I think you can draw me a picture, but I don't think you can show me tracing the path of light, even though the light is actually moving toward the observer. Reversibility makes this process valid. Here's where we enter in the Wayne's World music for Dreamweaver. Right? Alexander Lightwater, what's going on? Alexander, everybody, Alexander is here. All right, rectilinear propagation. I drew a straight line between A and B in the drawing above, and people usually think of lines of sight as being straight lines. No, we don't think of them as being straight lines because there's not a straight line in the air going from my eye to another object. It's just a figure of speech. A basic idea behind geometrical optics is that light travels in straight lines. That's an idea, sure, okay? But there is a catch to this statement. Light only travels in straight lines in a perfectly uniform medium like a vacuum. I'm sorry, I just choked on La La Land there for a second. Light only travels in straight lines in a perfectly uniform medium like a vacuum. Huh, like a vacuum. One that we do not have here on Earth, so completely irrelevant to this discussion. But real transparent materials such as air, water, and glass always have a small internal variation in their optical properties that bend the path of the light. So, light doesn't quite travel in straight lines in real materials. Particularly, light does not travel in straight lines in air because air isn't uniform. Air is not uniform. You see that little highlight right here? Air is not uniform, okay? Its density varies from place to place, especially at different heights. Now, what I'm doing with this or reading really is trying to just say that someone is coming into this for the very first time and they start looking up this information. So I'm like reacting to this as if I were coming to this information for the first time. There are certain things that aren't addressed in this article that Andrew Thomas Young puts out, but I think those things that he doesn't include are pertinent to the discussion. So, for instance, um, the variety of air's density at different heights, right? We would need to see a study on this to see how they arrived at where those heights are. Is it 30 meters? Is it 10 meters? Things like that. Not generalities, but specifics, right? The variations in density with height are very important in atmospheric refraction because they make light travel along curved paths. Oh, do they? How do you know that? Andrew Thomas Young. How do you know that the variations in density with height make light travel along curved paths? How do you know that? See, there's no citation. He doesn't have to like go into an explanation here, but a nice little footnote, a nice little HTML link, nice little hyperlink here to studies would be very helpful for me because I'm very interested in learning about this, and I would like to know how you know that light travels along a curved path in air. All right. Rays and beams. Rays and beams. There is another catch. there, there is another catch to this science about light propagation through atmospheric optics. Huh. Why are there catches? Why is there a catch? That doesn't make sense. Why should there be a catch to nature? Don't know. I think it's a catch because you gotta make Shinola up. There is another catch to the quote unquote straight lines statement. Lines are a geometric idealization. They have no width. Now, that's not entirely true because any mark that you have has width, even if it's minute, even if it's microscopic, it's got width. Might not have depth per se, but it's going to have length and width. But anyway, these straight or curved lines, which is it? Are these straight or curved? These straight or curved lines along which light moves are usually called rays in optics. Like the lines of geometry, they are convenient fiction. There is really no such thing as a ray of light. So we've just entered into La La Land as we discuss light propagation. There's no such thing as a ray of light, but you can think of it as a ray of light. Can't you just hear it? What's going on? Everybody out there right now, stop what you're doing. I have got to put in Man versus Matrix. I've got to put in his YouTube page. You guys need to sub to Derek. This is his brand new account. And let's get his channel growing because he's going to be doing a lot of I got to go somewhere else with this. He's going to be doing a lot of videos on health and gardening and reconditioning trailers, mobile homes, campers, things like that. It's going to be fantastic. So, all right, give me a second. Go to YouTube. Everybody talk amongst yourselves while I go get Derek's channel. Man versus Matrix. Here we go. There it is, right here. He's got 13 subscribers. I was the very first. And here we go. Oops. Copy that. Pasting here. Sub now. Everybody, let's get this channel growing. There you go, Derek. Appreciate it, man. Looking forward to all of your content that you're going to be putting out. Derek also sales. So, and Derek, this channel, Man versus Matrix, if you go back to my community page where I have those two images where I say, what can you see? where we're looking at these tankers in the distance on the Chesapeake Bay, Derek is the source for those photographs. So there you go. All right. Do you hear the vegetable screaming, Clarissa? Clarice? I don't understand what you're saying there, Allie B. All right, here we go. So we have entered into La La Land because light doesn't have rays, but you can think of them as rays, right? Here we go. Double speak here. Instead, what exists in the real world is a beam of light. And okay, listen. You guys look at this. There's no such thing as a ray of light, but there is a beam. There is a beam of light. Special pleading. Right away, I should caution you that what I call a beam of light may not be what you call a beam of light. You probably think of something like a searchlight beam, all lit up and plainly visible. But that searchlight beam is only visible because of light that is scattered out of the actual beam. So what you see is not the beam itself. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. What you see is not the beam itself, but the path of the beam, made visible by light that is being scattered out of it toward your eye. If the beam were traveling through a vacuum, instead of through polluted urban air, it would be quite invisible. Remember, I'm talking about invisible beams. We're talking about invisible unicorns right now, everybody. Shh. I mean, come on. Listen to what's going on here, right? So if you've got light from the sun, I'm just extrapolating out right now. If you've got light from the sun traveling through a vacuum and there's no beam, then all of a sudden when you get to the Earth's atmosphere, you get beams? I don't think so. What I'm going to do right now is jump on over to here, and I'm going to look for, let's see if I can do this. Water vortex, I think. I think it's from Physics Girl. Yeah, here it is. All right, so crazy pool vortex. And this is what came up to my mind, so hold on. All right. This is Physics Girl. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to watch this in a second. All right, so remember I said that I did this yesterday, so I jumped a little bit ahead because in yesterday's show I didn't do the vortexes or vortices this soon. So let me do this real quick and do light beams underwater. All right. Okay. So I'm going to try to open this up. I don't know why it's not just giving me a single shot at that photo. I've got to open it like 5 times, and all I want to do is get one shot. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is... All right, let's go back. Let's go back real quick. Okay. Right away, I should caution you that what I call a beam of light, you might not think of as a beam of light. All right, so we do that now. What is the relationship between rays, which aren't real, and beams? Well, beams are real. Rays are something we imagine. You can think of a ray as the center line of a narrow beam, if you like. I don't even know what that means. You can think of a ray as the center line of a narrow beam. So, beams that are real are made up of center lines? How many center lines do you have? Right? A beam is made up of something that doesn't exist. A ray. Rays don't exist. But you can think of them as if they were the center line of a narrow beam. Okay? Are you guys paying attention to this magician? As Mascart says at the state of the preface of his great textbook from Paris 1899, on optics, at first glance, to show that in a homogeneous medium, light is propagated in straight lines and that the direction of these rays changes suddenly. Okay, look, he's got rays, right? So this guy that Andrew Thomas Young is citing uses the term rays, which aren't real. They don't exist. At first glance, it seems a first glance seems to show that in a homogeneous medium, light is propagated in straight lines, and that the direction of these rays is suddenly changed according to the determinate laws at the surface of separation of two different media, right? So this is like Snell's law, right? From this point of view, one can build a special science. We're building a special science in which one extracts from simple questions of analysis the study of bundles of rays originally emanating from a single source. However, experiment easily shows that the ray of light has no physical existence and it vanishes if one tries to isolate it. Those tricky rays of light, they just vanish. It's kind of like a unicorn or a leprechaun. You just try to catch them and they just poof, they're gone. It is impossible. All right. It is impossible to know the real properties of bundles of rays. Okay. It is impossible. It is impossible to know the real properties of bundles of rays. Huh. And of the images they produce in optical systems without introducing the dimensions of apertures by which they are limited. Okay? It's usually more convenient to talk about the rays than beams. And the idea of rays is so useful and so central to geometrical optics that we often speak of rays as if they really existed. I need to take a drink of coffee. What's going on out there, everybody? Everybody doing well? The bending of light rays, which don't exist, by the varying density in the atmosphere is called atmospheric refraction. Refraction is the basic process that produces both mirages and green flashes, but it requires a separate web page to explain it properly. Let's just keep going down this rabbit hole. There is an exact mathematical law that describes the path of rays through a media there is an exact mathematical law that describes the path of rays through media with any given properties. So we can compute the path of a ray very accurately. So, I mean, you got to go back to this, right? He says very accurately. But as we started out his calculations, he said that you can't calculate, it's 10%. I'll try to keep this treatment as simple as possible here. A lot of refinements are needed for an accurate calculation. They will be ignored. My aim is to show the basic physics, not produce exact numbers. I'm just kind of noticing this. It could be, it could be nothing of a connection, but he seems to say on the one hand that there's no way to have anything greater than 10% accuracy, but we can compute the path of a ray very accurately. Okay. This business of tracing rays through the air, I see one right now. Everybody, I want you to stop what you're doing. I want you to just look up in front of you, put your finger in front of your face and point like you're pointing at a distant object, and just move your hand across your field of view. You just traced a ray. Isn't that awesome? All right. Okay, let's see. So I think I got distracted, and let's go over here. Refraction, refraction, yeah. Okay. For thousands of years, people have noticed that a straight stick placed obliquely in water appears to be broken at an angle when it enters the water. This is the origin of the term refraction, which literally means broken back. All right, so real quick, I've got that pulled up, I've got that pulled up. So here I'm going to just do this real quick. I'm going to do stick in water. All right, images, let's see. All right, so let's use this pencil. I think it's probably the better one. Or even this pool handrail going in, right? That's pretty good. All right, I just want this picture to be bigger. There we go. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, it's a vacuum hose. Okay, so look. So here we have obviously a physical object entering into the medium of water, and we've got the bending of that object. Okay. So the problem with extrapolation is this is a physical object. Everything up here, this light that exists up here above the pole and down here below the pole, those are not physical sticks or poles. So, but you want to tell me that light entering into this medium is like a physical object, and when it enters in, it gets bent just like this physical object. Okay, so let me ask you this question. How many directions does this pole, how many divergence does this pole have? I would say it has one, right? It comes in, it hits the water, and boom, this is one angle away. This is the angle of incidence, right? It doesn't go off in this direction. There aren't multiple images of this pole going off in all these directions, right? So if you put another pole next to it, that same pole I think would probably bend that way as well. It would be interesting to go on the other side of this pole and look and see how this, to see if you were on this side of the pole, if the bend would be in the opposite direction. That would be interesting. All right, so let's go back here. For about 2,000 years, astronomers have known that heavenly bodies seen near the horizon appear slightly higher in the sky than they really are. Okay? How do you know that? How do you know they're slightly higher in the sky than they really are? How do you know that? How did you come to that determination? This is where a hyperlink would be helpful for this kind of a study, because right now all we have is a declaration by Andrew Thomas Young. Okay, but we don't know the mechanics of this. I'm not necessarily disputing it altogether. I'm saying, how do you know? Because if it's slightly higher, then you have to know where it should be, because that's not where it actually is. How do you know? Okay. This was attributed to refraction by the Earth's, okay? So again, capitalization of Earth. That's just like the worship of Earth. So if you're going to capitalize this, you don't have the word the in front of it. So it should say, this was attributed to refraction by Earth's atmosphere. If you're going to capitalize it, you're making it personal. Okay? But it was not understood in detail until a couple hundred years ago. This astronomical refraction in its more extreme forms is the cause of green flashes. Now, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but he has mentioned green flashes a lot. Andrew Thomas Young likes his green flashes. Refraction in the atmosphere is complicated by the continuous change in density of air. So let's begin by considering refraction of light as a, let me start over. So let's begin by considering refraction of light at a plane boundary between two uniform media. Okay, plane boundary. Again, what is this? What do you mean by plane boundary? I'm not trying to catch you out, Andy. Just asking, what's this term mean? A plane boundary. What are we talking about? Is this the, okay, I think what he's saying here is we're talking about the surface of water. Okay, we can call the surface of water a boundary of a plane. That is, the surface of water is a horizontal level plane, right? Okay. So, he says, so let's begin by considering refraction of light at a plane boundary between two uniform media. What would those two uniform media be, Andy? Air? I'm sorry. Did you just say air is a uniform medium? Because back here, I gotta find it now. Back here, you said that air is not a uniform media. Now I've got to find it. All right, do a find. Is it function? No, control. Uniform. All right, no uniform there. No, I didn't say temperature gradient. I said uniform. Okay, no uniform there. All right, there we go. Okay, is everybody paying attention? SE, Ali B, Alexander Lightwater, Derek, Joe Mama, are you paying attention? Here we go. Particularly, light doesn't travel in straight lines in air because air isn't uniform. But wait. Let's begin by considering refraction of light at a plane boundary between two uniform media, say air. Am I missing something here, people? Here he says air is a uniform medium. Here he says air is not uniform. I'm confused. I'm confused. All right, Ali B, what did you say? You have read the entire article or the entire document. So I'm going to open this up. Shout out to Brian Leakey. Brian, let me put this back out here if anybody has subbed to this channel now. Sub, if you haven't, I can't remember if you did that. You might have already subbed to this channel. Is that the, I don't think that's the right, link. Going back. No, that's not what I wanted. I thought it was going to come back up to the page with Derek's. All right. If you didn't sub to this channel right now. All right, so let's now go back again to where I was just a minute ago. Crazy pool vortex. Okay. And so now we just pointed out the fact that it seems that Andrew Thomas Young has contradicted himself. Okay. All right. In the diagrams below, the heavy lines represent rays of light, which are imaginary and do not exist. If you are not familiar with this conceptual fiction, please check the Optics for Beginners pages. Ay, ay, ay. When a ray of light that doesn't exist passes from one transparent material, say air, into a different material, say glass or water, its direction changes. For example, here we go. Okay, so this was our where'd my stick? There we go. Right, so here we go. Physical stick, physical pole hits the water, changes direction. Right? Okay. Okay, what we have to understand, people, is light does not do this. Light is not a ray. It does not do this. You do not have rays of light entering into the water, okay? This is where I would like to reiterate my suggestion is that they have back engineered into their science things that they observe in nature, okay? They do make these observations, but then they back engineer it into a concept that they cannot prove or demonstrate. So, for instance, let me go back to, I don't remember giving this, I don't remember this page. Why is this page? Oh, I think that this is the, this is the link that Allie put up. Okay. That's that. That's that. Okay, here we go. Okay, everybody look here. So we're underwater here. And underwater, we see rays of light. But these rays are created by the surface of the water. Okay? So if you look over here, we don't have any rays. We don't have any rays. We don't have any rays. We gotta maybe have a ray right here, I think. A very subtle, very subtle ray here. No ray, darkness, shadowy, umbra-like kind of stuff. And then we have a ray of light, and then darkness. Less dark, ray of light, dark, ray of light, darkness. Okay? Why is it dark right here? Why is it dark right here? Why do we have a ray of darkness? Why do we have a ray of umbra? We have a ray of umbra because it's the surface of the water that is creating this. These are just like crepuscular rays. When you look at a display of crepuscular rays in the sky, you're not looking at rays of sunlight. You're looking at obstructed light. You're seeing, the only reason why you see the crepuscular rays is because there's a void, there's an umbra that's created by a cloud. The cloud is blocking the light. And so then you have a break in light. Those are not rays. Those are not rays. Is everybody following me? These are not rays. There's light over here. There's light over here. But you don't have the angle to see the source light here, and it is the surface. You see these dark parts of the surface of the water here? That's what is creating the rays. just like if you were looking through, if you were walking through a field and you came into a forest and the canopy of the forest was so thick, and then you got to a part where it broke up a little bit and you had rays of light coming down. That's not a ray of light. That's not what light does. That's all the light that the canopy is letting in. The canopy is blocking out light, and you have a pinhole that lets the light come through. Right? Make sure or make sense? Okay, so now let's I want to show this idea here with the fact that it is the surface, it's the surface of the water that is creating this umbra. You see that umbra? What's creating that? Okay, look at this. This is like a lesson in eclipse as well. This umbra, this eclipse, has a corona. You see that? It's got a corona. What is creating this? It is the surface of the water. There is disruption in a certain pattern on the surface of the water. Now, these guys are so good at back engineering stuff. Why don't they back engineer their science of eclipses this way? We have a demonstration of an eclipse here with a corona, and that's what we see up in the sky. So why can we not just simply extrapolate out that what's happening here in water, right? This happens in you can see this happen in a stream or in a river. If the water is disrupted in a pattern of a vortex, right? You have the creation of an eclipse. So what I'm trying to say is that the creation of rays of light are the creation of or let's see, the creation of rays of light happen at the planar boundary, at the plane boundary of the second medium, right? That's exactly what Andrew Thomas Young was saying right here, right? So let's consider refraction of light at a plane boundary between two media, air and water, okay? So it is this plane boundary right here, boop, that then distorts the image. But this is, again, this is not how you see it. This is a orthogonal or orthographic view, and we normally look at it from a first-person perspective. There was another, here we go, right? So in physics, in reality, the pole, the pool sweeping pole, comes into the water. It physically stays straight and hits the floor. That's what it does physically. But what we see is the refraction of the image in the water, okay? Now, light does not hit the water in rays. Light is just out here as light. And when it hits the water, depending on your angle, right? Because this is not over here. So if a person were, if there were a another swimmer next to me, say like 30 feet away, they would not see this the way I see it. They would see their own presentation because of their angle to that to that source of light, right? All right. So let's see. Where are we at? Okay, we're almost at an hour. I think I'm going to try to open up a Fly Potato 123. We only ban Smurfs. Okay, we only ban people who act like Smurfs. So as long as you mind your P's and Q's, you shouldn't get banned. All right, don't worry about it. Be nice. Don't make personal attacks, and everything should be good. All right. So I had Zoom pulled up. I am going to create a meeting and we'll have a discussion for a little bit. Enter meeting ID. Why is this? I don't think I've ever done this before. That seems like an extra step I have never had to take before. All right, so let's see what happens with this. Chrono Red. Conspiracy Cats was here earlier, but I have not seen him. All right. This meeting is not valid. Please, okay, update. I'm just going to update. What I usually had to do is just sign into. The reason why I'm doing Zoom is because I didn't want a troll to jump in and hijack the Discord, because Discord you can just join it willy-nilly. But if there is a problem with Zoom, is updating for just a few seconds. All right, I need to take a bathroom break. So what I'm going to do right now is go back here, play the slideshow and some solfeggio. Okay, so here we go. I'll be right back. All right, should be back to the back. How's everybody doing? I'm gonna turn off the slides and get back to Zoom, see if that looks good. Oh, sign in. Okay, I gotta sign in. I think if I sign in with Google, I'll be right back. Do 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 All right, here we go, peeps. Gonna get a. Here we go. I do not want my big ugly mug on, so I've got to delete that. Plus, all the lighting is bad. Alright, so it's just connecting, so give me a minute and I will have the participants start video, join audio. To hear others, click the join. Okay, need to do that. I'm using the computer audio. Okay, I want to stop video. There we go. Here we go. I'm going to invite. I'm going to copy the invite link and see how this works. All right. Join the panel. There we go. Join the panel. And we'll do this for a bit. Everybody's making breakfast here, so as soon as that's ready, I might step out and let you guys carry on. Let me do this, make sure the chime is there so I can see who's joining, if anybody does join. Play sound. There we go. Okay. Anybody going to join? It's just me. I killed my my readings in Refraction to let you guys in, so feel free to jump in. Alright, so I'm going to just play some music in the meantime while we wait for somebody to show up. Allie B, join up, man. Where are you? Mic is on. Allie, let's talk about vortices and light propagation, huh? Or Alexander Lightwater, if you're out there. SE. There we go. We got SE Montreal in the house. All right, let me do this. Let me do this. Hello, hello, hello. Are you there?
Yes, sir. How's it going, Travis?
I can hear you clear. I can hear you clear. Good to talk to you, SE. How are you doing, man?
Very good, very good.
Good, good, good.
Nice, beautiful day here.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's been a fantastic week here up in the canyon. It's just been temperate and absolutely clear blue, just beautiful blue skies. So I don't know if you saw or heard, but I extended my vacation again, so I'm going to be here for another week.
Somehow I'm not surprised on that. You did the same last time, no?
I did. So yeah, and again, it's a bit of both. My kids wanted to stay longer, and the visibility this last week was so horrible. I actually have practically no footage, so didn't even bother going out in the morning because the cloud cover on the Pacific Ocean was just so dense. It was not clear, but Joe Mama is in the channel and he's got a boat. I'm going to be taking a boat ride today with him out to the Anacapa Islands, and we'll try to shoot the Gina platform and see what she looks like receding into the distance, and see what we can see from the water. Man, should be good.
Nice, nice. Looking forward to that. Have you seen Ranty's latest video, Travis?
The one that had some splaining to do.
Yeah, it's the one. Yeah, yeah.
Is it pretty good?
Oh, it's amazing. It's funny. Over at Jose's right now, they're having a death to flat Earth party. Meanwhile, we just have another beautiful video showing how the 3959 is dead. Amazing.
Okay. So I guess we could try to play it. Let me see if I go to share.
Yeah, it's worth it. Yeah.
If I go to share screen, I'll share the computer sound. I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to drop this Zoom window, and I'm talking to myself through my activity here. So I heard that you had a good exchange on somebody's show recently. Is that true?
Sorry, say again, Travis?
I heard that you had a good exchange on someone's show recently, or at least I saw people talking about SE and things that you were saying. Does that ring a bell? Or
Yeah, it must have been yesterday on Jose's show.
okay.
There was this new guy that Jose was doing one-on-one challenges. So I went on first, and there was this new guy. I forgot his name. Yeah, I had a go with him. Yeah.
And what was the topic? How did you approach your?
Well, he was questioning me basically on stuff we were talking about. Not time travel, time, gravity. We went through the whole gambit. He's supposedly some sort of chemist or something. First time I spoke with him, and it went pretty good. We had a good exchange. He wasn't very knowledgeable, I'll tell you that. Yeah, it was interesting.
All right. So I've got his video pulling up in just a sec. Can you see the screen?
Yep.
Okay. So let me go full screen. I hope he doesn't give me a strike.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. All right, someone's got some serious splaining to do.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Somebody got some splaining to do.
Welcome, everyone. I think you'll find that I have a great video for you today that again proves the Earth is indeed flat. So I received this wonderful email from a subscriber named Lee with several flat Earth evidence videos that I'm going to share with you today. I just love receiving these emails from people who are inspired to go out and test the shape of the Earth themselves. I especially love this one because it included a husband and wife research team exemplifying what true independent science should be. I truly lament the fact that mainstream science has devolved from the pursuit of truth into a phony, faith-based, atheistic religion founded on diktat, top-down conformity, control, worthless degrees, and ridiculous theories devoid of experimentation, the scientific method, objectivity, observation, and common sense. But that's why we're here. We need to change all of that. And only the grassroots flat Earth scientific revolution can do that, in my opinion. Now, these flat Earth tests I'm going to present here today are fantastic and should cause any thinking, reasonable person to clearly see that the globe does not match our reality. Before I get into the evidence, this is my email address. Please email me if you would also like to share your genuine flat Earth experiments, observations, videos, or your professional experiences regarding the flat Earth. If they're good and I have the time, I'll try to share them with others. I don't make any money from my channel, and I have nothing to sell you whatsoever. I'm only here to share the truth to the best of my ability and build friendships with those few people who still love truth, regardless of its popularity. But let's get to those several amazing flat Earth tests proving the Earth is demonstrably flat. The first test we're going to look at was at Okanagan Lake in British Columbia, Canada. The laser and the high zoom camera were separated by a whopping distance of 16.4 miles. The laser was at 4 feet above the water, and the Nikon camera was set at 2 feet above the water. But there is also some cell phone footage of the laser at just inches above the water that I'll share in a bit. This is how the laser and the camera were set up far across from each other. I have the coordinates for the laser and the camera listed here, and the distance between the 2 points was 16.42 miles. At a laser height of 4 feet and a distance of 16.42 miles, according to their globe math, the observer would have to be at an amazing 130 feet above the water to see the source of the laser, because the curvature of the Earth should be blocking his view, but it's not. In other words, you'd have to be at least as high as this 130-foot statue to see the source of the laser if we truly lived on a globe. Instead, the camera gets as low as inches above the water, and the source of the laser is still visible. Let's watch the footage of the laser, 16.42 miles away, and I'll also include the cell phone footage, synchronized with the Nikon footage.
Okay, you're right. Oh yeah. Yeah, flash. Flash. Oh, almost right on. Can you put it on steady? Oh, right in the camera. To your right a little bit. Oh, flash right there, yeah. Back left. Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. You're nailing it. Back to your right. Okay, to your left. You're coming around. Left, left, left. Here it comes. Down a bit. Boom. Can you keep it there?
Yeah, I'll leave it there.
So how high are you off the water?
4 feet.
Yeah, I'm 2.5 feet here. So can you keep playing around? Like I can see the laser. Just see if you can get it back and forth and get it right in my camera. Oh yeah, there. I gotta see how low I can get the cell phone down on the ground. See how I can see. Yeah.
This is great stuff, man.
Okay, I got the cell phone at the laser and I'm 1 foot off the water. 6 inches off the water. Jesus.
Wonder why it's so
3 inches
dark
off the
in the Nikon
Cell phone
footage, but in the
and
cell
touching
phone it
the
looks like
water.
it's daytime.
Looking at C900. And yeah, pretty good, bud.
Nice, I love it.
Yeah. Just give me a few more flashes and then we'll call it a night.
Okay. You just all just go back and forth, left and right?
Yeah, it's like I could tell you. Down a bit, down.
Did you see how the laser was visible by the cell phone only inches above the water? Under the globe model, you would have to be 130 feet above the water to see that laser. Without question, this lake is 100% flat, and that's impossible under the globe. Globe busted. Now let's take a look at the 10.4 mile test because the footage is fantastic. In this case, they went to a different lake called Slocan Lake, about 100 miles away from Okanagan Lake. This is where Lee is joined by his supportive and wonderful wife, who is holding the flashlight. Even at 10.4 miles and a flashlight height of 6 inches, the curvature of the Earth should still hide 61 feet. But there isn't anything hidden. Let's watch.
We can't use the walkie-talkies.
Yeah, I can still see the light. It's crazy.
Okay, Lee, can you still see it?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, now we are, actually I'd say we're half a foot above the water.
Perfect.
Hey, Mom.
Okay.
Yeah?
Hey, SE.
Sup, bro?
So if you look here, can you see my mouse?
Yep.
So it would be interesting to know what this is in terms of topography because she's down at the surface and we talk about the limit of resolution here at this convergence point, right? So you've got the ceiling up here coming down, boom. You've got the water rising up, boom. That's our point of convergence. And so the only, like if she weren't flashing the light, we wouldn't know she was there. We can't see her. And the refractive distortion that's in the air right now is pretty extreme. So we would not even see her without the light. So if she were just standing there, he couldn't zoom in. You wouldn't be able to see her because she's smaller.
No way.
She's she's 10 miles away. But I guess what I'm trying to just say is that it would be interesting to know what's around her to, see what these objects are just in terms of a point of reference. But just something that I was thinking about.
I'm sure we can find that info because he was focusing on the lasers, so I'm sure that wasn't in his mind. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Because then if this is somewhat close to her in elevation, you would then be able to associate the two, the two observations, her and then whatever this might be. Although it looks like it's a little bit higher up, maybe a little bit farther away. But anyway, just something to consider there. But yeah, this is good stuff.
You know, like,
Yeah, Sean in the chat is claiming it's a laser bubble.
Zoom out.
a piece of one.
Reflective laser bubble.
Reflective laser bubble. Do you have a citation for that, Yonkins?
On the beach.
Hey, listen, I don't want to run our battery down, Lee.
Don't worry about it, Avin. We're almost done.
Look at that, just
This
pure
is where we
glass.
are.
Look at that, beautiful.
Look around.
I wonder if that's.
And there we go.
I wonder if that actually looked a little bit similar to
After the
Keith
flashlight test,
Carmody. Not him, the person, but the lake had a similar look to it. But
they pulled out the laser. I enjoy this one because the reflection of the laser is on the water. Another impossibility on an alleged curved surface.
Okay, stop. God, you've been flashing me. You're almost blinding me. Get right there. Right there.
That's it, buddy.
That's it. I got both cameras going.
I think after this we'll sign off because breakfast is going to be ready.
Yeah, you're hitting it right on.
All right, I'm going to put a strobe.
10-4. I copy the strobe. I didn't copy that.
That was awesome. Finally, I'm going to show you one more test that Lee just performed a few days ago at the same 10.4 mile location. This time, the laser is at a mere 1 foot above the water, meaning 57 feet should be hidden behind the curvature. In this next video, Lee has the camera here at 1.5 feet. Look closely. Do you think that he's filming a mirage of a laser that's actually hidden behind the curvature of the Earth? Or does Lee have a direct line of sight to the laser?
So, SE, there's got to be a way outside of simple logic to say that we are seeing the laser with a line of sight, right? I mean, I understand that, and I would say that, but there's got to be a point at which scientifically we can debunk this ray curvature, right? Even the Andrew Thomas Young talks about the rays of light following a path of curvature. All of this stuff is back in.
There is, Travis, in this. Sorry to interrupt you. In this very video, you will see the light beam. I'm not sure where did you catch that? Where you actually see the beam?
Yeah, and it's straight.
So right there, I mean, it's a beam.
Yeah,
it's not.
Yeah,
it's not
well,
fuzzy
but see,
like we see here. Yeah. It's a direct beam.
Yeah, no,
I don't see how they can argue against that.
I know. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's you can't.
You see, Sean was saying it's a cone. I'm sorry, Sean. I made a mistake. A cone, not a bubble. So he said it's a cone. Now, if it's a cone, Sean, how can we see that direct beam? Can you explain that?
Yeah.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Somebody got some splaining to do.
It's obvious that is not a mirage. That is a direct line of sight to the laser source. Now he sets the camera to just inches above the water.
This is with the camera resting right on top of the rocks.
Now that is your flat Earth reality right there. No question about it. Thank you everyone for watching. And I encourage everyone to share Lee's evidence.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw SE, but I had Derek and Adam on another occasion, and I was 2 inches above the water with my cell phone light, and Adam had his camera 2 inches above the water, 5.75 miles away, and with my iPhone light, you could see it. Just 2 inches.
Yeah, but that was refraction.
Yeah, yeah.
I believe you, bro. Trust me. You're speaking to the choir.
Sure.
You're preaching to the choir.
Sure. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up because, like I said, my breakfast is ready, and we've gone, I guess, about an hour and a half or so. Yep, about an hour and a half. So, Essie, thanks for jumping in and reminding me of Ranty's video here that he mirrored from Taboo Conspiracy. So, good. And
yeah, shout out to Taboo Conspiracy for sure.
Yeah, yep, big time. So let me do this. I'm going to copy this link and put it in. There we go. There's that. All right, so I am going to wrap this up, SE, and I'm going to close out with a comment to, is that you, Dave? Who says, why do all of your tests have to be done over water? Well, Dave, that's because when people say they watch ships disappear over the curvature of the earth, that has to happen over water. So there you go. Pretty simple answer, I'd say. Although I do agree that there needs to be some observations over terrestrial distances, but you can't be in two places at the same time. So I do what I do when I can. Know what I'm saying?
You do more than most, Travis. You do more than most.
Well, it's not just it's not a job by any stretch of the imagination. I absolutely love it, and I'm sure that you are fallen in love with photography and observations as well.
Oh yeah, I caught the bug for sure. Yep.
Excellent. Well, let's keep that camera rolling and those proofs coming. So, Essie, thanks so much for joining the panel, and I'm going to sign off and say goodbye to everybody.
Pleasure, bro. Peace out.
Talk to you later. All right, everybody. Thanks so much
Later.
for being here for another exciting adventure of The Plain Truth. I'm your host, Travis Finley. Until next time.